All right. Everybody was good. Was good. Let me do a little housekeeping here. Y'all know the routine. I have to check on a couple things, make sure everything is good. God of Moses and Elijah, my mans, I see you. The New York Knicks, yeah, was good. Chef NYK was good. Tmoney Kazoo was good. I see y'all. Salute, salute, salute. I see y'all. I see y'all, man. I see y'all. Let me do a little housekeeping here. Just make sure. Let me just do a little housekeeping here. Let me do a little something, making sure we broadcasting in all the right places. Let me see. Just looking for. Wow. Okay. Knicks won and drive. We okay. All right. Let me check Sportscaster. I gotta check my Sportscaster crew. Hey, I'm K Band. What's good? Yeah, Andy. Hey, Andy. That's exactly the right ratio. That's what we looking for. All right. So my Sportscaster people, I see y'all. Don't think I forgot about y'all, Sportscaster. I see y'all. 7 of them out there looking at us. And guess what? We looking right back. AK Sour God, what's good? S. Martinez, what's good with you? Jules the Walker, what's good? What's good with you? Yo, true story. I looked at my phone and I saw it was 622 subscribers. I walked from the back room to the computer to come see y'all, and we had 626. 4 people joined that fast. Telling you, this thing is growing out of control, and it's all because of y'all. It ain't because y'all attracted to this right here. I know that's not what it is. The Knicks Morning Drive family / the Knicks at Night podcast family. I like to call them the home field advantage. I like to call them the home field advantage because they get everybody energized to come do this thing. Get them legit energized to do this thing right here. I got a few things I want to talk about today, but you know, with the conversation, you know how it is with our conversations. Our conversations just morph into whatever the conversation is going to be, right? I don't try to force anything, right? We just let the conversation flow. A Nudie 25 was good. Quickly, AK Sour Guy, guess what? So we've been doing this for about 30 days. About 30 days. So we go, and of course my dog walks under the desk. Yes. My dog is probably going to start a channel and have more subscribers than us. Hey, you know what? Hard work pays off. Freezy is the hardest worker on the Knicks. Right. Hey, hard work pays off. And plus, this is love here. Drip Boy was good. Let's see what T-Money talking about. Hey, T-Money said, keep up the grind, Freezy. Hey, y'all doing it with me. This ain't about me. This is everybody. Legit, this is everybody. Felipe 210 is in the building. Danny Landis is in the building. Stephen Fox. Stephen Fox runs on batteries. Stephen Fox is in the building. That's my point guard right there. Stephen Fox is my point guard. He ran the offense from the Knicks at Night podcast, and the offense ran like a sewing machine. Good job, Stephen Fox. Let me see here. I'm working on. Okay, wait a minute. Yep. Hey, Stephen Fox did good. Your dog's gonna start an OnlyFans after he turns out. Oh man, y'all are nuts, man. Y'all, hey, I love it, man. I love it. Stephen Fox just got on and showed humility, like just you know what I'm saying? Hey, Steve, hey, Fox, listen, man. Sometimes the conversations will get so fiery and so lit that sometimes people want to start talking all over each other and all of that stuff. And it takes a lot of nuance and patience in order to manipulate the people that are on, not in a bad way, but just get them to adhere to what the fan base wants to hear. The home team advantage wants to hear every voice crystal clear. They don't want to hear 5 dudes talking all over each other and screaming and you know what I'm saying? So the job you did last night was good. You did a really good job, man. The last 3 nights, I think. Yeah. So I want to talk to y'all about Skal BCA, right? I want to talk to y'all about Julius Randle. And I also want to talk to y'all about the Knicks morning drive. Oh, and Kevin Knox. I want to talk about Knox too. And the Knicks morning drive. So I'll start off with the Knicks morning drive first, right? So people ask me, like, what is the goal? Like, what's the intent of the Knicks morning drive? And I told them, basically, all I want to do is turn the mic on and let the fan base go, right? Let them go. Because we have a joint at night. The Knicks at Night podcast is the same way. But, hey, brothers and sisters get on there and they just go, right? We don't need a direction, right? We just, hey, the Knicks at Night podcast is growing so quickly. I mean, people just get on there and go. People jump on and they're like lifelong, diehard Knicks fans, right? And they legit just get on. Sometimes we don't have enough room. Like sometimes people legit click on the link to come in, but I'm only allowed to have 10 people at a time. And I reserve, and I do a thing like I want to do like 8 spots. That way I can jump in and out, and I'll be the 9th or 10th person or whatever. And then plus 9 people is a lot of people talking at once, right? But for the most part, I don't care about that. I want Knicks fans to be heard, and Knicks fans want to be heard, because a lot of times there are points that or thoughts. And see, the word "take" sounds so commercial, like so commercially washed. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like first take. It's like a take sounds like you take the top 3 of. Hold on for a second. Ow, that's hot.
Okay. Do a quick microwave one of the rest of it in the oven. I mean, on the stove.
Y'all heard Ms. Mocha? She was like giving me instructions just now. So anyway, I don't really. I'm not a big fan of the word "take" because the word "take" sounds so commercially washed, and it's like take the top 3 trolling subjects, or take the top 3 passionate subjects, figure out what the complete opposite is, and just drill down on that in a trolling sense, right? Like for instance, James Harden is not reporting to Houston's camp and all blah blah blah. That's Houston's problem, right? That's legit the Houston Rockets problem. But somehow the New York Knicks are gonna wind up in that conversation. Hey, Andy, are you still at work? You still, hey, are you? Because I wanted you to come on. Andy, and that's my half brother. And Andy N is my half brother. So, we go way back, like, Oh, okay. In the last hour. Okay. All right. That's cool. So let me finish this. I want to finish the I got a point that I want to finish, and I want to get to y'all questions because y'all have really good questions, but I wanted to say a couple things first. So I don't want to get into this thing where I get into all these wise takes, like James Harden should be a Knick. The Knicks don't have a superstar, and they have the assets to get him. The James Dolan is a clown. The Knicks never do. Same old Knicks. I don't want to get into that, right? I don't want to get into that because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But you know that dialogue is coming soon, right? You know it's coming soon, where it's like everybody with all these hot takes and first takes and stuff are gonna troll the Knicks because the Knicks have the biggest fan base. I don't want to do that. In my opinion, the Knicks have the biggest fan base and the least amount of say. Right? The media speaks for us. I don't think it's fair. I think the fans should speak for themselves. And you know what? And if you got something to say, this is the place that you can come say it. It's the Knicks Morning Drive. 8 o'clock ish every morning. I'm trying to find a consistent time to come on. But for some reason, personal conflicts are getting in the way. But I like this time slot. I like this somewhere between 8 and 9. I like that, right? Hey, I'm Kaban said, my first channel name was First Take Crew. Yeah, man. So, but what I was getting at is I don't want this place to be a place where you feel like somebody's going to drop the hottest take and drop the mic and walk off. It's not about one person. It's not about one person. If you're a Knicks fan, a fan of the NBA, you're a Knicks fan, and you got something to say, and you want to be heard, and if it's reasonable, if you ain't trying to sell porn or life insurance, and if you ain't just trying to come on just to troll 1,500 people, because that's about the average for the shows. Like, we get about 1,500 views. We're not big yet. We will be one day. One day, as long as Danny Landis keep asking these tough questions, we'll get big. Yeah. But my point is I think this format is great, right? I think the format is great. I think the time slot is great. I think the group of people that we have come in is great. I don't see changing anything. I like it, maybe except I might upgrade some technology, right? I might stop doing it off of this old Duffy laptop and maybe do it on the computer I got behind me. OBS is a biatch to work with. You saw Guillermo Legion of Knicks podcast, aka that MF Doom, was having issue with it, and he's pretty good at that stuff. So Tmoney Kazoo said 1,500 is nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's views and stuff. But my main thing is so a lot of that is replay after the fact. Like once we wrap up the live stream and people come across it, they'll watch it. So for Knicks for Knicks Morning Drive, we probably do about 400 or 500 views, and then after say a few days, that number goes up. People will catch it after the fact. But basically, what I'm getting at is I want to grow it. Want to find ways to grow it just to meet more fans, have more fans contribute to the conversation and stuff. But I like for this format to stay true to itself. Right. So I don't want to be don't want to look at it as being like no, I don't have a Mac. I don't have a Mac, but I'm looking into it. I'm looking into some stuff. It's the holidays, brother. I have adult kids, man. I can't just go out and buy a Mac. I got car insurance for other people I got to pay for. What you tell? Hey, man, I have kids in their 20s, brother. I have to keep a cash reserve just in case somebody's phone bill is late. You know, so I'm Pop Dukes. You know what I mean? I'm Pop Dukes, fam. So it's like I can't spend money on myself. I have to keep a cash reserve. You know what I mean? Hey, Grandmaster Vegan, what's good? Good to see you. Yeah, not everybody can catch the live. Hey, so that's the thing. That's the other thing I was gonna say. Not everybody can catch the live though, but we do 2 shows every day. We do the Knicks at Night podcast, which is live, and that's late at night. You know what I'm saying? And that's after everybody, after all the Knicks contributors go off and spend their money and drive their Porsches and you know and sip expensive wine and all that stuff. Then the regular folks come on for like 4 hours. The regular folks like ourselves, we come on drinking Kool-Aid. Yeah, so then we come on at 11:45 after everybody else. You know what I mean? And then we try to catch everybody in the morning, the Knicks Morning Drive. You know, we try to provide a service for those that are at work, give them something to listen to. You know what I mean? Say Joe Blow in his cubicle is tired of listening to ESPN radio and would just tune to us and listen to real Knicks talk. And those that don't catch the live, man, they'll have to catch the replays because we can't, even though I wish I could, but we can't do it 24/7. You know what I mean? And I hate us like that, but we'll try to provide a service for the people that we can provide a service to live, and then for the ones that don't, I hope they enjoy the replay. Hopefully, we do a good enough show that when they watch the replay, it'll be entertaining enough for them. Bring back Kenny Skywalker. Wow, that was random. Okay, what did I click on just now? Did I miss something? Yeah, hey. So so the format, the format, if we can call it a format, is one where it's like, hey, I'm gonna get to Skal at BC in a second. I got Skal is first on my list. I'm gonna get to Skal. Hold on, AK. Let me do this. Just want to let y'all know that even though other Knicks contributors, content creators, and contributors or whatever are shouting us out and things, and we appreciate the love from them. Like recently, we've gotten love from a lot of other Knicks content creators that have noticed that we're on the rise, on the come up, and just looking to provide something a little bit different. I appreciate that. Just want to let everybody here know that we're just going to stick to the plan. The short-term and long-term plan is for y'all voices to be heard, right? Even if we don't agree. Because a lot of times we get on here and we don't necessarily agree, and I get heated. We at least listen. You know what I'm saying? Let voices be heard. All right. So your thoughts on Skal BCA from AK Sour God? That is a very good question, right? And the reason why this question is close to us is because one of our co-hosts, aka, hold on, the tea kettle is crying. Hold on. The tea kettle is in there crying. So anyways, back in October-ish, maybe September-ish, one of our co-hosts, aka brethren, Woodshed 1914 said, "Hey, Uncle Freezy, I have the next Christian Wood for you, and we should sign him right now before it's too late." Hand to the man. I tell Woodshed, "Hey, Woodshed, I know we're getting short on topics and stuff, but don't troll me, right?" So Woodshed 1914, and you can ask him on Twitter. He's not at Woodshed 1914 on Twitter. We've been a part of a Knicks Twitter thread for ever, right? Just debating stuff. He says, "Hey, the next Christian Wood is that kid from Kentucky." And I'm thinking, like, who? What big man from Kentucky? And he says, and I'm like, wait, before you say that, you better be talking about Willie Cauley-Stein. You better be talking about Trill. You better be talking about Trill. And so he's like, "No, I'm not talking about Trill. I'm not talking about Willie Cauley-Stein." And I'm like, "Well, what other big man? You better be talking about DeMarcus Cousins." Because by now, I think I know who he's talking about, right? And he's like, "No, man, Boogie Wash." We got doggy issues, doggy and hot tea issues. I'm sorry. So anyway, I tell Woodshed, like, "Hey, man, you better not. And so he blurts out the name. It's Skal BCA. And I'm like, "Oh my God, Woodshed, are we that desperate for thoughts that we're just drumming up stuff?" And he was like, "No, man, look at Christian Wood's path. Look at this. Look at the level of athleticism between both. Look at the handles between both. Look at the path between both of those guys. I mean, Skal BCA, if he was 6'8", he would legit not be a big man. He'd probably be a small forward. And so here's the thing: big men are big men in their heart, right? So you can find a 6'7" dude that if he feels like he's a big man, PJ Tucker feels at his size, he feels like he's a big man, even though he's not in a big man body, right? I think it's the same thing for Skal BCA. Skal BCA has these weird combination of skills that does not necessarily relate into a banging big man, but more so of a power forward that's fluid, kind of like if somebody could unlock it, he could be somebody, right? And it's the reason why he bounced around, because of his size. We don't want that. We don't want 6'11" dudes that that's not a big man at heart. We don't want, if you 6'11", we want you blocking shots and rebounding. We want you putting intimidation on people coming to the rim. Yeah, you know what? But at the end of the day, we are who we are, right? But Skal, BC, when you 6'11", 240, I don't care nothing about your handles. I don't care anything about. I don't care if you have a nice dunk package. I want you to block shots and rebound. I have 6'4" dudes that do that. daprincebun, when are you coming on? When you coming on? Stop messing around. Yeah, hey, well, the thing is at Kentucky, Calipari called him soft. Calipari was frustrated with him. Like, hey, man, this kid is soft. But the thing about Skal BCA is modern NBA players, man. Modern NBA players have a diverse skill set, right? You can't tell them where to play nowadays. Back in the days, if you were 6'10", they were like, get your rump in the post. Nowadays, if you 6'10", they're like, hey, can you shoot a little bit? Nowadays, I'll give you an example. 20 years ago, a dude Davis Bertans size would be like the third center off the bench coming straight in to hack up your all-star center. Now Davis Bertans is a dead-eye three-point shooter. And so the thing with Skal BCA, in my opinion, is two or threefold. The athleticism, he is definitely an athlete as an NBA player, right? Skal BCA definitely has the size, the NBA size. White Falcon 44s in a building. Ghetto Intellect, I see you. And you know what? The thing is I'm not using 90s ball and 2020 ball as a comparison of what's better. I'm just stating like the clear obvious thing. Like if you were 6'11" then, you were probably a big, in the post. 6'11" now, they want to see what kind of skill package you got. The thing is, though, Prince Bun, the thing is with Skal, right, is say he progresses. Do you sign him long term? Right? And the obvious answer, and I know what you're going to say, well, it depends on how much he progresses. No, man. No, even if, say, even if he was to, say, get called up to the roster and comes off the bench doing 10-4, right? You can't sign that long term. You can't throw the bag at that. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of 10-4 guys. I mean, man, we just signed Nerlens Noel, another Heat from Kentucky, ironically. I'll say, K-Man says, I doubt it. He won't be crazy good. He'll probably develop to a backup roster player. Well, that's how the progression starts, though. That's how it started with Christian Wood. That's how I was started with Christian Wood. Like you legit take step by step. You do a step by step thing, right? You don't just he ain't just gonna play for Westchester, play 30 games, and then take Mitch's spot. That's not happening, right? Ghetto Intellect says this Kentucky experiment better work. LOL. Hey, I'll do you one better. This Kentucky experiment better work. No LOL. No LOL. You know what I'm saying? I ain't laughing. I ain't joking with that. This thing better work. This thing is better work, man. Might as well call us New York, Kentucky. Right. I feel you. You may as well call us the New York Wildcats. Right. So here's the thing with the Skal BCA thing. We know that he's going to get better. We know he's got the talent because he was a first round pick. Right? We know the talent is there. We know he's got seasoning because he's bounced around a little bit between Sacramento, Portland, and Atlanta, I believe. Right? My deal is with Skal BCA is this. And shout out to Woodshed 1914 for being miles ahead of everybody. He pointed this out back in September. He called it. He called Woodshed 1914 called two things that should get y'all attention and maybe have y'all follow him on Twitter. He called the Buddy Hield trade rumor. He called the Buddy Hield trade rumor all the way back as far as August, I believe. And I believe he'll have the receipts for it. And he also called Skal BCA, and we laughed in his face. I mean, laughed in his face. He said, hey, I got the next Christian Wood. Right? Now, mind you, now stay with me on this. Skal BCA hadn't done anything, right? We don't know if he's going to be the next Christian Wood or not, right? We don't know that, and it may not happen. But at Woodshed 1914 said, hey, I have the next Christian Wood for you, and I think he alluded to Christian Wood coming to the Skal BCA coming to the Knicks. So the first part. Hey, the first part is true. The first part is true. He called Skal BCA to the Knicks, and he's just a regular Joe like us. He's a ham and egger, like Bobby the Brain Heenan used to say. He's a ham and egger, just like us. No, I don't believe we had. I don't believe he had Christian Wood. I don't think we ever had him. So what do y'all believe? Do y'all like Skal BCA's game? I'm gonna throw the invite in the chat for those that want to jump on. I meant to do that a little earlier. I don't like waiting to the 30-minute mark to do that. You welcome to come on if you're not selling porn or life insurance and is respectful of the chat. Prince Bun, what you doing? Come on. Oh, y'all talking about the dude we signed to the G League? Yes, the dude we signed to the G League. So listen, before y'all overreact about us signing the G League guy, I'm not overreacting to a G League signing. Right? I don't even care about the G League. Is there even going to be a G League this year? We don't know. Right? We don't know. Probably not. Simma Singh is in the building. The dopest mod in the game. Him and Bodega Wi-Fi. Bodega Wi-Fi is in the building. I didn't even see you. You snuck in here. I didn't even see Bodega Wi-Fi sneak in here. What's good? What's good? So the thing is with our G League team, I don't care. All I care about is winning. I want to win, right? We want to legit get the big boy roster in the W column, man. I want this Knicks team to make the playoffs. I don't care nothing about the G League. Dudes go there and down there, play basketball for a living, trying to chase their dream. I get it. In terms of what's on the radar, I don't care. Go down there. It's the difference between you playing, doing what you love for a living or working in the cubicle. Hey, man, chase your dream. Chase your dream, man. I don't care. You don't want to work in the cubicle. You want to play ball for a living. Good. Hey, salute. I appreciate that. I appreciate you pursuing your passions. In the grand scheme of things, I don't care. I want to win. I want the Knicks to win. I don't want to hear nothing about no 20-52 or no mess like that. I want to win. The reason why I brought up Skal BCA in the first place is because my man at Woodshed 1914 2 months ago, or maybe 3 months ago, whenever, he said, hey, you know what? I got the next Christian Wood. And I was like, you better not be playing with me. And he was like, Skal BCA. And then sure enough, we hear that name again. Because we laughed. We laughed when we first heard it, and we tried to do a show about it, but the show didn't have that topic didn't have legs, so we had to move on. Because nobody cares about Skal BCA until he becomes a Knick. And now you're like, Woodshed 1914 brought this up 3 months ago. And now this dude is a Knick. And it makes you wonder, did the Knicks really find the next Christian Wood? Because finding talent is not twofold. You don't just draft a guy and then he becomes a superstar. And you don't just sign a free agent and he becomes a super. You don't sign an established veteran. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to draft an obscure guy, like in Emmanuel Quickly. And he winds up wanting to be something. Hey, Ghetto Intellect, you got a camera? There it is. All right.
I got to keep my camera on, Uncle Freezy.
Hey, man, people want to connect with who it is they seeing.
Cool.
Or who it is they talking. I mean, if you want to flip in and out, that's cool. Because I do that too. Because, I be having stuff going on behind the scenes.
No, you go all the way off the camera.
Yeah. How you doing this morning?
Salute to you. I just want to tell you I appreciate you, your podcast, man. Even though it's on YouTube, it's still a podcast, man. You got a couple of dudes, I don't know if they earned their spot. If I was able to stay up that late in the morning, man, I would vibe for their spot, man. My man who called, who said who compared RJ to Laundry, man. He don't deserve to come back though, boy. After that, man.
You talking about Rob the Knick? Talking about RJ Barrett as Landry Fields.
He should have got cut for that, man. But
I wish I could have reached through the screen, man. Yeah, man.
Did you hear? I heard something very important yesterday.
What's that?
It's gonna piss you off a little bit. I heard Powell say that he's working on his defense guarding EP. So that must mean EP's got the ball a lot in camp. I know, I'm sorry. But my question to you is, I think you're a little hard on EP, because if EP is not the starting point guard, doesn't that just mean that nobody's beating him out in camp? And how can you be hard on EP if nobody else no other point guard wanted to sign with the Knicks?
Hey, man. So what you just asked me has a lot of legs. It's a dope question, and it's a dope question in its simplicity because it's like, oh, you know what? It's like that it's like that cake your auntie fixed right around the holidays, where it's like the yellow cake, but it got all them layers on it. So for one, the fact that Elfrid Payton is back and getting consideration is frustrating. In the fact that he started 331 games at point guard in the NBA, all of them for lottery teams. That frustrates me because that makes me think he's a loser, right? So he's the tank commander, right? So if he's the tank commander, what are we really doing signing all these veterans, right? All right. So two, it frustrates me because I heard other point guards turn the Knicks down, like Jeff Teague, and I'm thinking like, who was Jeff Teague to turn down the Knicks? Jeff Teague, really? Who was Jeff Teague to turn down the? Oh boy, here come trouble. Here comes trouble.
What's good, my guy? What's good?
Hey man, long time no see, brethren. What's good?
Hey man, taking care of the fam, bro. Still catching up on my Knicks when I can, bro. But I'm holding it down for us in Michigan, bro. I'm holding it down.
Man,
hold on, let me get my hat. Hold on.
The rumor was that you kept getting paper cuts from counting all your money. That's the reason why you ain't been on.
I wish, bro. I wish. I had to come back to the people, though. I had to come back to the people, man.
Hey, we miss you, fam. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was hitting you up on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I did. I got a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in the chat, but man, that toxicity was killing me, bro. I had to sit back. I just hate all the toxicity, and then I be hating going at people next for hating, man. Sometimes, but I got to give people their respect and let the track breathe, as Hov would say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just had to step back. But now I see like you, Raw Hebrew. Cats is really putting out some good content. We ain't got a lot of haters. So, bro, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, I'm glad y'all still love me and want me around, bro, because it felt good when I did jump in the chat. And everybody like, B, where you been? So, hey, dog, I'm looking forward to Friday, bro. I'm looking forward to Friday.
Hey, man. We need for you to come on and be on with us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't trying to like flat out trying to recruit you or nothing, because the thing is, we don't need a bunch of we don't need co-hosts coming, but we do, but we want you. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is,
hey, bro, say no more, say less. I told you I was gonna come ride with you. Hey, I'm gonna be on more often. We gotta swap numbers, and then, like I said, I can get on a more consistent basis with y'all.
Hey,
I'm down.
I'll DM you later on. I'll DM you later on then.
All right, 100. So what we talking about? What we on right now?
So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. We have a diverse thought about the roster, right? So there are your Frank Ntilikina ride or dies, right? They legit ride or die with Frank Ntilikina, right? And then you have your straight up headhunters for Julius Randle, right? They legit don't want Julius Randle to even walk by the New York facility. You know what I'm saying? And then you got your people that feel like RJ Barrett is gonna be all right, but he might not be a star. And then you have your people that feel like Obi Toppin is gonna get his number retired, and Julius Randle shouldn't be in his way blocking him. You know what I'm saying? And then you have your people that feel like DSJ is a bust and he should already be out of town. You got your Kevin Knox fans that say he should be starting regardless. You got your fans that say Mitchell Robinson need to step up and start shooting threes. And so you have a wide array of thoughts going into the season. So which one is the most pressing to you? Do you have one that's more pressing than that?
I'm gonna have to, like I said, I am, you know me, bro. I was one of the first cats screaming Knox when, you know, he was a wildcat. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, like I said, I got receipts as being one of the first. Me and a couple other cats was like the first cats in Sim chat who even started speaking Kevin Knox's name. So, you know, I'm never going to jump off that bandwagon because I know that kid is going to do great things for us. I'm with you on the Julius Randle talk because, again, I myself has been one of them people, but I was more because I know it's going to be a log jam. And I just know that, again, if you bring in a kid like this young kid, Obi, you can't expect him to sit. You know what I'm saying? Like we as fans, you know what I'm saying? So, again, it's respectable when people be like, hey, man, we got to stop trashing Julius. He's our power forward. Let him rock. Right. True indeed. But you got a young 22-year-old kid that needs to rock. So, again, if we wasn't going to play Obi, we shouldn't have drafted Obi. And like I was saying, trade back in the draft and pick Obi up late or whatever. But that ain't the case. Obi's here. He's going to help us contribute. So, again, I appreciate the kid rocking the jersey for us. So, with that going forward, like I said, I'm on the fence with that one because, again, if Obi outplays Julius, fuck yeah, let that kid start. But if he can't outplay Julius, everybody who is an Obi fan, you need to shut up and just sit back and watch Obi grow. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just plain and simple. Trust Thibodeau and just sit back and shut up. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that. On the Frank tip, I really love Frank. I really think Frank can help us. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. But I've been one of those people that say that Frank is a 2. I truly, personally, I believe Frank can run the 1 and he will be a good 1. But is Frank naturally in his skin a 1? No. I just think that Phil knew he was going to be a very cerebral player. And he knew he had the intangibles to run a team. So, yes, a 6'7" guard, oh, shit, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That is beautiful what Phil was thinking running the triangle. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you who I think Frank Ntilikina is gonna be, right? And I troll the Knicks fans. I troll the Knicks fans about Frank all the time because they let their passion skew Frank's production. You know what I'm saying? Like they let their love for Frank skew what it is that they're actually seeing. Like when Frank Ntilikina legit hits a 3-pointer, it's like a 10-pointer to them because they want Frank to succeed so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like they legit want Frank to succeed so bad, and I don't blame them, right? But I think what we should be looking at Frank Ntilikina, in my opinion, in 3 years is going to be Bruce Bowen, right?
Yes.
Bruce Bowen, Tony Allen.
I could see that. I pray he has a little better offense, but I like that comparison. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's not a slight. That's not a slight at all.
Right. I'm not slamming Frank. I'm not slamming him. I'm just saying.
I would be content with that.
He's limited. I think he's limited in what he can do right now, and I don't know if it'll ever come. But defensively, his upside is tremendous. Borderline, I think Frank it could be borderline Hall of Fame caliber defender, but at the same time, I think Frank won't get there until age 24, 25, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then plus
that's around the corner. That's around the corner.
But Tony Allen, while he made his reputation in Memphis, he started out with the Celtics. Yeah. His first contract was with the Celtics. They didn't renew him. He went on to Memphis to become Tony Allen. Bruce Bowen, his first few years were in Miami, right? And they tried to figure out a way to kind of get him to be an NBA player. It didn't work in Miami. He signed with San Antonio, and he's probably a great all-time great Spur, right? My thing with Frank is after seeing that blueprint, I don't want to let Frank go out the door and become Frank Ntilikina, say for the Detroit Pistons, and then they start winning chips,
and we can't get by. He's the RJ stopper,
right?
Right.
Can you imagine Frank pulling a Roy Hibbert on us? You know, on the way,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? We playing it, Frank, and he shut one of our point guards down going into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't want to see that. Like KP, I'm okay with seeing KP in a different jersey. Frank, no, bro, I can't. I don't want to see that. I don't want to line up against Frank in a different jersey.
Right. This and the reason why I said Frank to the Pistons, I don't want to see Frank on a young up and coming team that gets in our way, and then he winds up handcuffing RJ Barrett in the playoffs, and he comes out as a Knick. You know what I'm saying?
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. The thing about it though is what do you do in those gap years? Because Frank is 22 right now, and so you talking about at 25. So what do you do in those gap years, 23 and 24?
Well, the problem is Frank has to accept his role, and it sounds like what I'm hearing, Frank's team is saying, no, if you're not giving him time at point guard, then you better not expect to keep him. We're gonna go somewhere else. At some point, somebody's got to get Frank to understand his future in the NBA is Bruce Bowen. And if you become this amazing point guard that you want to become, then allow it to happen. But right now, you're Bruce Bowens, and Bruce Bowens had a long, successful NBA career.
Right. You know, not to cut you off, but I think truly, I really haven't got the notion from Frank that he don't seem like a kid who, you know what I'm saying, like, I gotta play. Like, I think his frustration is more, hey, dog, y'all got me going left, right, you know, backwards, forwards. What direction y'all want me to go? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now we got a good coach. Now I got a clear understanding of what my role is. I got a clear training regimen of what y'all want to see me become. So I really believe, I think Frank, I don't think he's as disgruntled as the media and everybody try to say. I think he's probably done with the bullshit, excuse my language, but I don't really think, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's really like, you know what I'm saying, fuck the Knicks type of shit yet. I think it's more mentally like, bro, I'm just tired of the bull. Like, let's get some consistency in here. We got a good coach. Now, shit, coach us up and let me go out here and hoop. And again, if I fall on my face, I fall on my face. So like you said, OG, I'm like, I'm with you. You got to let him play. But then we also got to, like you said, set realistic goals with Tom Thibodeau is doing. Hey, bro, this is what I want you to do at night. Go out and give me 14 points, 7 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds, a couple steals. That's a beautiful stat line. Like you said, what's wrong with a Bruce Bowen career, you know, for Frank? You know, he don't have to be a perennial all-star. As long as he locked down the best player on the other team and, you know what I'm saying, he can contribute when needed, ain't much more for, you know, we don't really need much more from Frank.
Right.
Frank Ntilikina is the type of player on your team you win championships with. Period.
Facts. Glue guy. 100% glue guy. 100% glue guy.
Right. Well. Hey, so the thing that so you mentioned two things I want to kind of touch on. So for one, the fact that Frank had a lot of coaches in his short career is true. That's real life. That's real life. You can't dispute that. Secondly, Frank has come back healthy. In past years, Frank Ntilikina wasn't always healthy while he played those minutes that were given to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's a frustrating situation where you got a coach that's not going to be there, and Frank playing with the minutes they give him at point. He's supposed to be explosive, but he's probably playing at 60% because of a groin injury. Now it looks like he can't do the things that normal point guards do. But the fact that he's hurt made it, played a lot into it, right? So you have to consider those things. So now you bring in Thibodeau, who's the best coach that we've had since Van Gundy.
Yeah, shit, Van Gundy and Pat Riley.
Right. So Thibodeau's probably the best coach we had since Van Gundy, right? So now you have a coach and young guys who struggle to do the bad coaching. Now you see what these guys can do. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, though, keep these things in perspective. Don't be calling Frank Ntilikina the point. Frank Ntilikina is not going to be Clyde Frazier. Stop it.
He's not.
Stop it. There's Knicks fans out there that legit think Frank is going to blossom into a 16-10 on offense and be the defensive player of the year. No, that ain't Frank. Frank is Bruce Bowen.
He is.
Frank is gonna be Bruce Bowen. And you know how I know he's gonna be Bruce Bowen? Because he's got the D on one end that's elite, and he knocks down that corner three.
He can shoot.
And yeah, once his shot is consistent, and I think that's our biggest. A lot of fans, Knicks fans' biggest knocks on him is that he hasn't been productive scoring. But every other facet of the game, defense, running the team, being a team player, you know what I'm saying, just being a good kid, he checks off everything. It's just he doesn't score like De'Aaron Fox and freaking John Wall and all these other cats. That's the only knock on Frank.
But can he neutralize De'Aaron Fox?
I hope he take, that's one guard this season, like, the Spencer Dinwiddie and De'Aaron Fox. That's those two guards. I would love to see Frank put his fucking socks in their mouth. Excuse my language, but shut them two down, because De'Aaron Fox was talking a lot of shit on Twitter this offseason, and Spencer Dinwiddie, same difference. I would like to see Frank put both of them, put handcuffs on both of them when we see them.
YouTube algorithm is going after the F word, so you definitely got to be careful.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Hey, no doubt. Hey, and so here's the thing too. Here's the thing with Frank, right? It's not just as if Frank was played poorly at point guard, but you got to make sure that you understand what the roster looked like around him, right? Putting passes on the money only means something good if dudes convert that pass to a basket.
Amen.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So think about this. Frank throws that ball, throws that pass on the money to Noah Vonleh, and Noah Vonleh kicked the ball out of bounds. What you got?
Turnover.
Right. Well, Noah's gonna try to drive into the bucket. He needs somebody that can kick it and do something with it.
Right. Or Frank throws the alley-oop to Mario Hezonja. He catches it and then kicks it out to the corner to say Alonzo Trier, and Trier throws up a brick. So what just happened to Frank? You know what I'm saying? Whereas say for instance, and I'm just gonna just say just an average guy, say an average guy like a Kelly Oubre. Frank throws that lob to Kelly Oubre. What happens? Oubre throws.
He's gonna finish it. Yeah, he finish it.
Yeah.
He's finishing it.
So it's one of those deals where we gotta kind of look at things not in a linear sense, but in a sense where you got to understand who was playing around Frank. It's like when people say Julius Randle shouldn't be the number one option, but they can't tell you who the number one option would be if Julius Randle was not the number one option.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and so the other night, I guess it was 2 nights ago, they were like, RJ Barrett should have been the number one option. No, RJ Barrett can't be the number one option because for one, you want to give the keys to your franchise to a rookie that was playing on a high ankle sprain. Yet the dude you're trying to take the keys from was averaging 20 and 10.
And your number one option is somebody you want to finish the game. You can't finish the game with RJ shooting 60% from the free throw line. You can't. Right. And I heard you say that too, Freezy. He's got to improve that this year. If he doesn't, his stardom, his horizon is low. He lowered it if he shoots 60, 70%, 65% from the line this year. 70, it might be acceptable. If he shoots 60 to 65, that's bad.
Not to get a young kid, you know what I'm saying, no mulligan, but, you know, as we've been hearing and seeing in, you know, just in the conversations with Frank and a lot of the other guys from last year, I guess it's a going thing that they were out of shape. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like me, I didn't pick up on it. Yes. Homeschool. Yeah. But yeah, no. So what I've seen is that a lot of them was out of shape. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm starting to see. So not giving RJ a mulligan, but I'm wondering did that also have something to do with, like you said, him being able to stay on the court? We heard Mitch say something about, you know, him being in shape. That's why, you know, he had to put on a couple extra pounds so he wouldn't get thrown around by cats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering if, like you said, they body and all of that stuff, we'll really see a jump in RJ with him coming in a lot more in shape, and maybe he'll be able to knock down those free throws to go from 67 to like maybe 75, 80s, So I don't know.
So that's what happened. So what happened with RJ? I don't know if y'all remember, but at the beginning of the season, RJ Barrett was shooting 40% from the free throw line, 40%, right? And so what happened is, I think starting in December, he started shooting at a 75% rate, and that made his free throw percentage climb up to 60%. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So while 60% looks terrible, it was way worse at 40%.
Gotcha.
And the other thing too about RJ Barrett shooting, like so RJ Barrett started the season shooting 40% from three, right? Under Fizdale, he was shooting 40% from the 3-point line. And so while that is amazing as a shooter, you saw RJ Barrett get injured, right? He tried to play through the high ankle sprain, and once he got healthy, RJ Barrett shot 35% from three. So there's a narrative out there that RJ Barrett can't shoot, but what people don't understand is when my man got hurt, all his shooting numbers went in the toilet, all of them, right? And then once he got healthy, all of his numbers skyrocketed. So what I would tell RJ Barrett is get in shape so you can avoid these injuries, and so you won't hit this rookie wall. You know what I'm saying? And then that way your numbers are, because we can take, if RJ Barrett is 45, 35, 75, that's borderline all-star, right? Because to be honest with you, Devin Booker only had 1 year of shooting at 38%. All his other years were like 34, 35%, right? And we consider Devin Booker a great shooter.
Elite.
Right. So, elite. Yeah, right.
The thing is with RJ Barrett, if he does a 45, 35, 75, I think we can take those splits.
Yeah. And be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and be happy. And you had said that earlier too about RJ, and that's the thing. Like, I had said that on Twitter. I was like, I wonder how fast Knicks fans gonna turn on Obi. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Everybody is Obi is the great savior. And I'm like, well, we said that about RJ last year, and just look how fast before trade deadline even happened. Cats was talking about, man, maybe we should trade RJ. Let's trade RJ. He's not who we thought he was. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and again, maybe that's those crazy dysfunctional Knicks fans who be talking that crap. But again, I heard a lot of that. And the same thing I'm saying about Obi. And I'm like, okay, well, not hating, but again, y'all keep this same energy if Obi don't start to show the great Obi-Wan Kenobi that everybody pray he becomes, because again, we can turn on kids very fast.
Right. Well, here's the thing: you got to be careful with Obi. If you're watching him move around the court, he's very top heavy, which is going to be amazing for him around the rim. But if you watch him, he kind of moves like Lurch, and that's why I would have a problem with him trying to guard threes, because while he's like a tank on springs, is what he is. Right. So around the bucket, all he's going to do is raise up. Cats is going to get out of his way. Grown men are going to get out of his way because he's going to finish. But if you got him out on the wing trying to defend smooth players, that herky jerk, he's going to get lost. First herk, he's going to get to the left and not be able to get back to the right. When I heard about lateral movement, I thought it was his feet. It's not his feet. It's his upper body that's going to be the problem with his lateral movement.
Yeah. But you know what though? I mean, I don't want him to change his body. No. Right? I don't want him to change his body, because I feel like the offensive mismatch that he presents against other teams is too much of a plus in our favor for us to try to change that and then try to neutralize it. No, we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? What we want is, because I feel like, and body type aside, I feel like Obi is going to be our Sean Kemp. For those that remember Sean Kemp from back in the days, like, you legit, like, how in the world can this dude move on legs that little? Is what we used to think when we saw Sean Kemp, right? I mean, Sean Kemp could legit get boxed out and jump through the box and throw it down on three defenders. right? I think that's Obi.
Crazy.
And what people forget is Sean Kemp's passing, like basketball IQ. Not the early years when he was just a lob catcher, but I'm talking about like him and Gary Payton got in a bag. You know what I'm saying? When Sean Kemp legit played 100% defense because he know if they got a deflection or loose ball, he can catch the lob on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Because couldn't nobody other power forwards in the league then couldn't run with Sean Kemp. You know what I'm saying? Charles Oakley could not run with Sean Kemp. You know what I'm saying? So with like any loose ball, Sean Kemp could outrun a Charles Oakley and catch a lob from Gary Payton on the other end. It was incentive to hustle. It was incentive to hustle 100% of the time, basically, because Sean Kemp could legit get in a game. He could legit get 8 points off of just running a fast break.
And that's what I heard yesterday. What I heard Powell say yesterday, or no, I heard Knox say yesterday. He said, what are y'all doing on offense? He says the offense is to get stops and go.
Yeah.
And if they get stops and run, and Obi and to RJ being in shape, they said he scored up there with Obi with the fitness test. And Obi, they said, scored out the roof. So if we get out and run, a Knicks team out and run, man, we're gonna really enjoy this season. We may not win a lot of games because you can't run the last 2 or 3 possessions of the game. So we still got to learn how to score. But as far as the first 3 quarters, we're gonna be very exciting to watch, I believe.
You know, I think, you know what I'm saying, just coaching ball myself, I understand, you know what I'm saying, that it's easier to teach a team to run in transition and play defense, especially early in the season. There's no, like, when, you know, and again, I hate to say it because I was a big Fizdale fan, and everybody was like, B, your boy is trash, and I'm like, man, give him some time. But again, knowing, you know what I'm saying, coming from a football background and then coaching hoops too, to understand that you start your training camp with teaching offense and you ain't taught these boys no defense.
Right.
So we should have knew Fizdale was on some BS then. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if you, like you said, you listen to Knox them, they're like, man, we ain't even doing no offense. We do defense and we run. We do defense and we run. So with that being said, like you said, I think that they will be a lot better transition team. If you miss, ain't gonna be no, like, I know Mark. I wish Mark in the chat, but Mark used to go crazy about this. We'd get the ball on the break and then we will walk it up, like literally walk the ball up. And I used to hear Mark scream about this after every chat. Oh my God, no, we don't run no fast breaks. We don't do that.
And then we wasn't a rebounding team.
Honestly, right. He was right.
And then we wasn't an offensive rebounding team. Yep. We would get one shot now.
Yeah.
You know, so to hear that the kids talking about that, to hear that, you know what I'm saying, Thibodeau is talking about that, that shows us again, it'll be times they'll have sets. Trust me. They'll have sets to run stuff that Thibodeau know that we can score off of. But his mindset is, bro, if I can get 40 points in transition buckets, that's half the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's 20 shots. If I can get 20 layups or dunks in a transition offense, bro, like, you don't need too many half-court sets if you score that many buckets in transition and off defense, you know?
Right. Hey, and you know what? Too, y'all right. And the other thing, too, is it plays a lot into your confidence, too. Like I keep telling the story about the Knicks playing the Celtics when Brad Stevens had a second year Jason Tatum that was struggling, and the Knicks had a first year rookie Kevin Knox that was struggling. How Brad Stevens nurtured Jason Tatum. Like when his shot wasn't going, he was legit. He went to put his hand in his chest like, hey kid, don't worry about that, man. You the future. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna draw up some stuff to get you some open looks, and we guarantee this knockdown. I got confidence in you. And then on the other side, you see David Fizdale cussing at Knox like he like a Skal dog. He like calling him, you ain't nothing. What you out here on the court for if you gonna keep, you know, the cussing my man out in front of everybody in the Garden, right? And then so one guy has his young guy develop into a superstar. Now the other dude worked for ESPN with some weird hairdo, and the guy that he was cussing at got no confidence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's legit. We got to look at things for what they are. I believe if Brad Stevens had Kevin Knox right now, Kevin Knox would be a 17-point per game scorer.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the things you saw. Brad Stevens was mad. He was mad that he was losing to the Knicks. Now, but when it came to Jason Tatum, he was like, hey, baby, look, these shots ain't going. Just hang in there. We're gonna get you some open looks and just hang in there. You the future. Even if we lose this game, we ain't gonna lose you. We want you to hang in there. You the future. And the other coach is cussing out his rookie. You know what I'm saying? In front of two other rookies, Mitchell Robinson and Lonzo Trier, looking at him like, man, I don't want to go in there and mess up. Because if he cussing out the first round pick like that, what are you gonna do to a second round pick? What are you gonna do to an undrafted free agent? You know what I'm saying? If you're an undrafted free agent, you can't even make a mistake. You might get cut.
And that's the sick thing about it. And even though Knox wanted to be coached, but I just think, like you said, Fizdale was doing it the total wrong way. Like you said, you wasn't invested. That's one thing about coaching that I used to always, tell younger coaches and cats who really don't know how to relate to the kids is a kid will do anything for you if he know you care about him. Like if he know you care about him and you really would go through anything for him, a kid will knock down a wall for you if you know what I'm saying, if you want him to. So again, Fizdale, like you said, that snake oil salesman of Fizdale, he probably wasn't, like you said, he wasn't truly developing them kids the way he needed to. And like you said, it was times where he should have cussed out older players. And I used to hear Sim say a lot about this and other people too. Why isn't he holding the older players accountable for their actions? But like you said, he'll pull Knox, he'll pull Trier, he'll pull Mitch. But again, you won't pull Julius, you won't pull Tim Hardaway Jr. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you won't slap them on the wrist. But like you said, you over here bashing this 19-year-old kid, and I don't know if he was doing that for TV, but like you said, it was filthy. It was filthy.
You remember? So there was a game where he slammed his clipboard on the floor because of Knox and broke it. Right, and he slammed the clipboard on the thing and broke it. Right, the assistant coach got them another clipboard. Everybody picking up pieces or whatever, and then he cussing at Knox or whatever. Knox get on the bench, he don't even play him. Frank Ntilikina get on the court and make one mistake, he snatched Frank out the game, right? For Moutier. You know what I'm saying? So you like, yo, what are you doing?
Not my boy Moutier, not my boy.
Yeah, why you snatching Frank for Moutier? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Here's the thing with Moutier. When he came out, and we were all on Twitter. In this draft, I was like, if we don't get Cat, I would prefer Moutier because Moutier was like the number one high school.
I was a Moutier fan too. I was a Moutier fan too.
Yeah, and so the thing is with us getting Moutier, when we got him, he was out of shape, right? He trying to play the point guard, and he like 218, 220. You know what I'm saying? We're like, Moutier, what are you doing? You like 220 trying to play point guard, and you 6'5"? Come on, dog. And so he would let Moutier play through his mistakes. When Frank got on the floor, Frank made one mistake. Frank wouldn't see the floor again. And so I'm like, come on, dog. That's not the message you want to send to your people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not what you want to send, But I said all that to say this. Fizdale's gone. Ain't nothing we can do now, man. He gone, good riddance.
Before I tell you, I will tell you that he coached this other team once. When the Knicks along.
So what do you think about Kevin Knox?
Man, I really, like I said, I'm praying that again he spent these 9 months and he's truly got enough, like you said, bulletin board material that drives him to be great by himself. And I think that was a big thing that the young fella was just missing, was just that, is that I'm true, you know what I'm saying? I'm lacking confidence. I'm lacking true knowledge of the game. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. The kid is young. His IQ needs to grow. And like his physical abilities and much of what he said, all of those, none of that stuff we've heard Kevin Knox shy away from of his own criticism of his own game. And that's one thing about a young kid you have to look at it as admirable is just that, is that this kid understands he needs to get quicker. He understands he needs to get stronger. He understands he needs to understand defensive philosophy and offensive philosophy a lot better. And he just needs to take his craft a lot more serious. So again, and I don't think that was just him not wanting to do it. I think it was just more the fact that, again, he was just learning his craft. You have to learn your craft, so now he's this is year 3. He got 9 months to travel the states and kick it with older NBA players. I was in awe to know that he was working out with KD, which I thought would have happened in New York. But again, KD went to Brooklyn, but that's a whole different conversation. But to see him working with KD, that made me be like, okay, this kid is growing up.
Yeah,
like he's taking his training on his exactly. He's serious. He's taking his training on his own now. He ain't waiting for, like you said, Fizdale or New York to tell him, hey, go work with this cat. Like I took my hat off to that kid for going out this summer and working. So now tomorrow and Friday and these next couple of days, we'll really be able to see what Kevin Knox has been working on, brother.
Right. Hey, I'm legit trying to find. So let me hold on. Let me see what. Oh, my bad. Let me do this right now. Yeah. So yeah, man. So the thing with Knox, man, is I believe that this is his year. I think that the year 2, and I know we talk a lot about Knox in year 2, but my thing is I think Knox, this is his year. Last year, and I know I said this already, but I just want to reiterate. So year 1, they tell Knox, like, hey, Knox, you the future, you the cornerstone. We're gonna build this team around you, right? Knox go out and his rookie average went up and down. It was like 14 one time it was 9, but it went up and down. He settled in at 12.5 points a game, right? And won rookie of the month for December 2018. Was all rookie team, I think. Just a bunch of stuff. Knox is talking about being a leader on a team and how he embraced the leadership and how the organization had his back, and talking the corporate line, right? And then going into his second year, they signed 60 people to play his spot.
And then you expect the kid to really come out every day with a smile on his face. Like, yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm the face. I'm the face. You know what I'm saying? Remember all of this and you know what I'm saying? The Fortnite and all that. Like, bro, like. And to real quick before you go off this topic, but that kills me with the Knicks too. And I don't know who up in the organization is really toting that, but I guess when you get different regimes, everybody's gonna put their own face up there. And like if you think about it, like you said, you got Knox face his year, then you got RJ. They did the whole billboard for RJ the very next year, and then this year they rolled out Obi. So again, whose team is it? Is it RJ team? Is it Obi team? Is it Knox team? Who, y'all put it out there to us and the fans that every year it's a different person's team. So how do that make that person feel? And we are one of the only, I would have to say, the only team that does it. I've never seen another team herald rookies like, oh, they're going to be the savior. And then the next year, that next kid is the savior. And the next year, the next kid is the savior. That don't make sense. Like you said, I think it sends a bad precedence to the kid you just drafted. I mean,
right. But the thing with Knox is you gave him the keys, right? And then the very next year, you give him the keys, and then Fizdale is on his back like a mink coat, just every step Fizdale is on this kid back, right?
You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this.
Right.
You gotta do this.
Right. All these things, and then you bring in veterans. You bring in these veterans, and they don't offer you nothing. Wayne Ellington is getting minutes in the 3-guard lineup. Reggie Bullock is playing small forward. You got Mook Morris. You got Bobby Portis, who I like, by the way. You got Taj Gibson. You even signed Kenny Wooten. 6'8",
6'9", small ball center. A 6'8", 6'9", small ball center.
Right. You even all these guys, right? All these guys. You bring in all these guys to take minutes away from Mitchell Robinson and Kevin Knox. Right? So the message you send is, yeah, we rebuilding, but we gonna develop veterans. We gonna develop 7-year, 8-year veterans. You know what I mean?
It was like you said, we should have seen that we was definitely heading toward a train crash. And some of us did. A lot of us just was hopelessly optimistic, like myself. I was definitely not trying to, drink the Kool-Aid and know that we was going to be trash. But again, when you set yourself up like that, and again, you bring 6 power forwards in, four, like you said, backup shooting forwards, and then you promised that this young kid that he was going to be able to drive the Maserati, like you said, it's weird to me, because again, I'm glad that Obi doesn't seem like the type of guy, because I really don't think Obi is the face of the franchise. I just believe he's the kid that we drafted this year, but I don't believe, to me, I don't believe that. And I'm not hating on him. I just don't believe he's truly the face of the franchise. I just believe he was our draft pick, and he was heralded as a guy who could play. So again, we picked him, and again, you might as well sell newspapers and jerseys. So he's here,
I think Knox is the surprise breakout player this year.
I hope so. Yeah, I really think so too.
I think Knox is the guy. I was hoping that it'd be Frank, but I think it's going to be Knox. I legit think it could be.
And you could be right, though, Freeze. You could be right, though. You could, we could see, a total, what would be perfect scenario is Tom Thibodeau win Best Coach of the Year. And we still, and not saying, we be a great team, but that's the type of turnaround we have with the players, that Tom Thibodeau can win Coach of the Year. When you change Frank, you turn around Knox, you promote RJ to be better, you give Mitch a little bit better offensive repertoire.
Right.
You have to get that man Coach of the Year. Even if we sniff the 8th, 9th seed of the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? And he changes the culture that much, where, like you said, we can go 35 and 27 or whatever, whatever it is, 35 and 24.
Right.
Or you know what I'm saying? If we could do something like that, Thibodeau deserves Coach of the Year. And if we see that, I think we'll see a big growth in all of those kids. I think we'll see a growth in all of them.
Yo, look who it is.
What's up? What's up?
God of Boulders and Elijah.
I like him. I like him at night. When I wake up in the middle of the night, I like him. He has good stuff. What are y'all thinking about the blue jerseys, the gray jerseys, and Mitch being in the black jersey? The green jerseys are clear. What are y'all thinking about that? Y'all not putting no weight into that?
I haven't seen it.
I try not to, because again, that's that going down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? You jumping down the rabbit hole. If you, I seen Frank wearing a blue jersey, and then in this shot, I see him wearing a black one. Okay, well, what about Emmanuel Quickly and them who don't got a jersey, and they just wearing the little NBA black little leotard things? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about, the black jersey.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the little wife beater. So, okay, what, they not on the team, man? You know what I'm saying? So I hear them. But again, man, we know. I mean, anybody who play ball, man, your coach going, hey, man, Williams, come and put on the blue. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Freezy, put on the red. Man, Muggs ain't got time for that, bro. If we really speculate like that, man, some of us really might need it. We just stop, because we need day jobs again, if that's what we analyze.
Right, but we thirsty though, and I hate to say that about grown-ups, because grown-ups be like, man, man, I ain't thirsty, dog. You know what I'm saying? But we've been without basketball for 9 months.
9 months.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So if you can't say, hey man, I heard Uncle Freezy and he sound mad thirsty for them Knicks. Hey dog,
He said,
doing your job.
He said, might be.
You're doing your job. You're doing your job.
Yeah.
I might be, bro. I might be.
Yeah.
I just want to say though that y'all were talking about breakout player of the week. I mean, for the Knicks, and Mitch is of course in terms of rookies. I would probably think Mitch or RJ. Of course. But if I had to guess a veteran, I mean the only veterans there that is Julius Randle, Elfrid Payton. So I really think Elfrid Payton. I mean, I would say the two most hated, right? The two most hated, Elfrid Payton and Julius Randle. And I'm here to, let Freezy know. Listen, you got to watch out for Elfrid Payton, man.
I told him that earlier. We had that convo earlier.
You did? Okay, so I gotta make sure that I jumped in. I gotta throw my 2 cents in there too. I'm yeah. So Elfrid Payton, he gets last season they caught a lot of heat. Randall and Elfrid Payton caught a lot of heat for last season, but I think they're both gonna bounce back this season. I think I hope they make it up to New York, and yeah, man, I think he might be. Hopefully we move Ntilikina to the 2, maybe. We're moving to the 2. Elfrid Payton over there playing the 1.
Block him from the chat, man. Anybody talking from the Lakers, block them from the chat.
Right. Hence, no. Just to answer his question, no, we don't count that championship. No, we don't count that championship.
Hey, that's our guy, though. That's a Marquise Walker.
Okay. Tell him no, we don't count that championship.
Okay, well. He the dude from Boston. That's a Lakers.
That's an AAU tournament. That was an AAU tournament down the ground.
I'm gonna say Elfrid Payton is gonna average almost 10 assists for the season.
Absolutely, I'm with you on that.
What do you see? What do you see the best role for Payton? Like, what would be his ideal position in best case scenario for us?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm really liking that Elfrid Payton with Frank Ntilikina backcourt in defensive purposes.
Okay.
When you're talking gritty, when you want to get gritty, let's get gritty, and we shutting everybody down because Elfrid Payton. I've been telling it all over this chat. Listen, man, this guy is just as good as Ntilikina on the defense.
Okay.
So
I don't know about that.
Well,
Ntilikina can guard more. Ntilikina can guard if he gets switched off. He can guard more players. That's
credit on that. Yeah. He could probably guard a small forward, and maybe Ntilikina could be a starting small forward, and that's a sleeper conversation in itself.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So maybe he could even start over Kevin Knox as the small forward, and nobody has ever thought about saying that. Maybe
I wouldn't, but I could see him playing. I could see him playing it, not starting though, but I could see him playing that position. Depending on the lineup, I could see him playing in that lineup.
If he ever starts over Kevin Knox, you better end Kevin Knox's career as an NBA player.
Right? Yeah, that would be a sad day if we see Thibodeau roll that lineup out. If it ain't a clear, concise understanding, Kevin was sick, so we had to sit him down for a quarter, and we would start him the second quarter. Like, I would, but again, no disrespect to your point. I could see him playing. I could see him playing the 3 though. I would.
It's whoever got it going too. Let's not forget whoever got it going. Like if Ntilikina is not locking people down, then I could see Tibbs saying boom. And also, if Knox offense has it going, then I could see him go with Knox. But I'm interested on that Ntilikina Elfrid Payton backcourt rotation. I don't say it's a starting group, but I like that rotation.
I
really like that. Yeah.
Real quick, what you were saying, just to piggyback off that, as soon as you said that guard combo, I thought about Damian Lillard and CJ McCullough. You know what I'm saying? When you got a dynamic backcourt like that and you have to stop them, that would be a perfect, fire and ice. Like, okay, we got to slow them down. Hey,
and Payton got the assist.
Frank, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Payton can distribute the ball too, so you don't have to worry about all that other stuff. Elfrid Payton knows how to move the ball, so you don't have to get stuck with 3 assists from Frank. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You could just let you could let Frank Ntilikina be who he is. Just let him be.
Facts, and especially, yeah, I like you said, I liked it. I like that, and somebody else had brought that up. I heard that guard combo from somebody else speaking about that too.
Yeah,
and I really think that's gonna be dangerous. That'll be a scary. I wouldn't want, especially because I think Raw Hebrew was talking about that, and I think somebody else, maybe in Sim Chat too, that because we are so much younger and we are going to be using our athleticism. With that being said, we are going to be pressing. You're going to see us pressing teams, and you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like you said, those guys would be the perfect, guys to press and put pressure on opponent's guard. So yeah, bro, I like that. I really do like that.
Look who it is. It's our guy, Andy N. What's good, Andy?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Oh, what up, Andy?
Only for a second, guys.
What up, brother?
I'm heading home from work, so I'm gonna have a fast 30 minutes with you guys.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Hey, that's my guy right there. We eventually, me and Andy are gonna do something, man. We gotta do something. Me, him, and Legion of the Knicks podcast probably have to do something together. Yeah,
Freezy, just remember, me and you just wanna be like Guillermo, bro.
Yeah, man. We just try. Everybody trying to be like Legion of the Knicks podcast.
Yeah, he's the role model. He's the role model.
Yeah, man.
Salute to Guillermo, man.
So, what do you think about what they said about Frank Ntilikina about being a starter, maybe at a different position, maybe small forward or shooting guard?
Small forward. I like him as.
You know what? If you're asking me, I'm gonna be fine with Frank coming off the bench, and I'm his one of the biggest supporters. But I think he can easily, go off the bench and because, like you say always, that we gotta dump Frank. We don't have to dump Frank. I'm with Sim 100% on the Frank topic, right? He doesn't have to be your all-star player. He's just a role player, and we gotta accept him like a role player, right? He's not going to command huge money. That's why we're not dumping Frank.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to give him a fair money extension, and that's why he's going to be a Knick long term.
Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
Okay. So here's the thing. With Frank. I disagree with you, right? I think Frank. So Andy, if you can hear me, I think Frank is different from what you and Sim say, right? I think Frank eventually, at age 25, 26, is going to be a Bruce Bowen, Tony Allen type player, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a borderline Hall of Fame caliber defender, right? But offensively, very limited.
But that's only if we develop him right.
But the thing is though that we don't get is right now Frank is 22, and my projection is Frank being that guy at 26. So it's like, what do you do during those gap years, 23, 24, 25, right? Because Tony Allen and Bruce Bowen both started on different teams and became the best version of themselves on their second team, right? And we keep
they got minutes, Freezy. Because they got minutes on their second teams. Because those teams that traded for them, they wanted them. And if you want someone, you're gonna play him.
Right. But my point is this. Though on their first teams, they played through a lot of mistakes. Boston was terrible with Tony Allen, right? Miami was terrible with Bruce Bowen, right? When they got to their second teams, they were already developed into the player that they were going to become, or that they were going to contribute as. The thing is we don't want Frank to leave and say sign with the Boston Celtics, and then we wind up facing Frank defending RJ in the playoffs. You know what I mean? We don't want that situation. What we want to do is develop Frank, keep him here, right? And have him be that guy for us. But the tricky part is developing him at the same time, not being a detriment to the team, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but Freezy, I don't know if you see the difference between Frank and I don't know, some other guys, right? An example, plenty of Knicks fans say that Frank needs to score more, right?
Right.
I don't know if you see that Frank is reluctant to shoot, even to shoot.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he doesn't feel the shot. He's not confident in the shot.
Right.
That's why he's not taking those shots. He's not like a pure prototype, USA shooting guard that has the mantra that he has to shoot just to, see the ball go through the hoop and stuff. Bro, you do that in practice. You don't do it on the floor in game time.
Right.
And some people are going to disagree, but that's the thing why European players tend to don't even try the thing, instead of make the thing turnover or a bad shot on court. Because in Europe you play games 4 times 10 minutes. That's 8 minutes less than in the NBA, right?
Right.
That means that's almost 20% of the possessions you have. You got less time and less chances to show out with your skill and with everything.
Right.
And this is a double, sided sword, because it's the other way around as well. You're not going to take him. You're not going to make him, right? But if you make 2-3 shots in Europe, it counts more, because the certain amount of time, possessions is smaller. So if you make 5 shots and just take 10, that's going to be still 20% of the shots of the team, right?
Right.
So some players tend just not to make the mistake, instead of they're in a huge fear just to make the mistake.
But
That's why European players are hesitant to do bad things.
But when Frank's standing around on the wing, spot open, and you swing it to him, when he releases that ball, it looks good. And if it don't go in, it's a good attempt. That's what I'm saying. Let's get him out on the wing, get the ball out of his hands, free him up of having to think about running the offense, and you're going to see a totally different Frank Ntilikina.
I totally agree, and I don't know, that for me, his shot form is really nice. It's nice. Fluent. It doesn't stick, doesn't have any hitches, and it really looks like in one motion, right? He gathers the ball, and it's in one motion shoot. So it's a really good shot as long as I see it. No, maybe not good as my shot, but I'll take it.
Hey, but you know what though? I'll say this, man. I don't even care about Frank's shot. I legit think the dude is the player that you described, man, is still Bruce Bowen or Tony Allen.
Still Bruce Bowen.
Those dudes didn't care about offense. All they wanted to
Freezy,
do was
of course, and
knock them down.
And Freezy, and you don't need to expect anything more just to be a Bruce Bowen type for the Knicks, bro. And that would be still perfect. That would be still perfect, because everybody tends. Remember that he's a piece on a championship team, and every championship team has role players. You can't have a championship team that's going to have 15 guys that's going to score 20 points per game. You got those guys that are going to do dirty work for you. You got those guys that are going to defend instead of your star player that he's going to, take a possession or two off on the defense, but he's going to have power to do it on the offensive end, right? So you tend to play to your strengths, not to your weaknesses.
And this is why we're going to love Tibbs, because Tibbs already said it. I love Frank because he can guard multiple positions, period.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Don't talk about his offense. He said he could guard multiple positions, so he said it.
And Freezy, 2 more things about Frank. One, that Fizz is going to love him, like you guys said, right? Because he can, play and do all the dirty work. And I'm going to tell you this. If you're going to be on the court with any 4 other guys, right, from the Knicks, I'd love most to play with Frank, because he's going to do all the dirty work that I don't want to do on the court.
Talk.
He's going to defend my guys, stuff like that. I'm going to take the shots. Don't worry, Frank. I can take the shots. You just defend for me. Bro, everybody is going to love to play with a guy like Frank. Stars, role players, whoever. If you ask them who they want to play with from the Knicks, I bet you they want to say that one of those 4 other guys on the court is going to be Frank. And going back to the shooting motion, just go back. There's a clip on YouTube. I don't remember who did it, but it was like something like when Frank kept his wrist, after the shot, it was like 10% better shot, right? Just the percentage wise, it went like 10% up from when he didn't keep the wrist down, right? So and the guy just breaks down the video, the shooting motion, so perfectly that I recommend you guys to Google it and YouTube it and watch it.
Oh man, okay, all right, Andy. Now we going too far with Frank. I'm talking about in 3 years, I think he'll be Bruce Bowen, and now we talking about Frank's shot right now.
Freezy, sorry. Another thing, if he's going to be a Bruce Bowen type, he's not going to demand 12, even 15 million a year. He's going to stick with that, below 10, max 10 million per year, right?
Yes.
And that's good for us. That's a good salary for him.
And when he retired,
you don't break the bank for him. Yeah, you don't break the bank for him.
No, 10 million is a lot of money, Andy.
My point. I keep pointing to an elite Hall of Fame caliber defender, right? But y'all keep bringing up offense and where his shot looks. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't think Frank will ever be a double-digit scorer, right? I don't think he'll ever be double-digit assists, right? But what I do need is a higher level of steals, blocks, and deflections from Frank. For a dude that's 6'3.5",
crazy. You just gotta see. Yeah, but Frank's defense, it's not always going to be about the numbers because he's like those disruptor defenders, right? He's going to have those hands, out and stuff, and he's going to disrupt the first basic pass, which is going to disrupt the whole offense of the opposite team. And that's not always going to be on the box score because it's easy to, you want more steals, right? Steals basically come from, from cutting the passing lanes, right? Frank's a defender, like on the ball defender. So that's not the high steal part of defense. But he's a disruptor. He's gonna have those deflections which don't count in the box score. But the other guy, a teammate, is gonna get that steal when he's gonna deflect it, right? And so that's why Frank.
One more thing before you respond, Freezy, because he froze. You're saying not his shot, but we also don't want them double teaming somebody because Frank's on the floor. So if Frank's standing in the corner, we don't want them to say, okay, leave him in the corner. Let's keep the defense tight to stop RJ from driving. Frank, in a good shot, will force them not to just give him wide open shots because he will hurt them. And that's the only reason we're talking about his shot.
Well, okay. I give you that. But what I'm saying is offensively, all I want Frank to do is be a cog in the wheel. Right, that's all I want. Because right now we're talking about Frank's shot form. Right now, to me, Frank is a 6'4" Buck Williams. Frank is a 6'4" Tree Rollins. He is not the prototypical point guard in today's NBA. Right,
he's not a point guard.
So I'm saying I don't even want to. What I would like for Frank to do is embrace being Bruce Bowen right now. So by the time he gets to be 25, he can be that Bruce Bowen type. Because Bruce Bowen was not Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, or Tony Parker, but he was just as important to that team, except defensively, is what I'm saying.
But he also hit big shots, Freezy.
Right, my point gets misconstrued. Like when I say he's Bruce Bowen and I want him to be in a certain role, people think I'm talking about Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. No, I want him to embrace a role and be great at it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to do all this other stuff, Frank. Be Bruce Bowen. There's nothing wrong with being Bruce Bowen, right?
Exactly.
I mean, think about this. And since they had a Bruce Bowen, that means Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili could focus on offense because Bruce Bowen could lock down a Kobe on his own. That's what I'm saying. And when people are saying people are talking about, well, Frank shot 50% from the corner three. I don't care. I'm talking about the long term. I'm talking about the long game. Because we're not winning the championship next year. We're not winning the championship 2021. That's out. What we need to be doing is developing guys, and Frank needs to be developed in a Bruce Bowen role. So by the time we play meaningful games, Frank will be ready, Knox will be ready, Mitch will be ready, RJ will be ready to go play these meaningful games together. I don't want to be playing meaningful games and then Frank is still trying to experiment with playing point guard. The experiment should be over.
It should end this should end this training camp. Frank playing.
That's my point with Frank. That's why when people talk about Frank averaging 14 and 8 or scoring 17 a game and all kind of, that's why I always say that Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Tree Rollins. You know what I'm saying? You get that thought out of your head. Frank will never be John Wall. That's not who he is. Frank Ntilikina will never be Dame Lillard.
Yeah, that's Freezy. That's true also. But if you put Frank in a system game, like a pure system, like the San Antonio Spurs have, he's not gonna be, like the scorer, like 20 points and 10 assists, right? But he can easily manage 12 points and 6-7 assists in a system game. You saw it when France played in FIBA, and I'm not gonna even go one sentence there, but bro, they had a pure system there. And, if you wanted to do it, he's capable. I'm not saying he's going to be top 20 even from the point guard in the league, right? But he can run the offense if you get guys injured or, on a bad day or whatever. Right. He's not like you can't get him to bring up the ball a couple of possessions a game.
Right.
And Freezy, got one more question. You think you can say all the Bruce Bowen thing, the idea and stuff like that to Chuck B?
Yeah. Chuck, the thing with Chuck is Chuck thinks that Frank is not an NBA point guard, and he's not. And I agree. And then I don't want Frank starting at the 2 either. I want Frank. My preference is if we're going to keep Frank needs to come off the bench as a wing player, jack of all trades, do it all type player, in a limited role that he can embrace. And if there comes a night where Frank gets in his bag and he feels like he's dishing and swishing, hey, get in your bag, Frank. You know what I mean? But don't perpetrate this thing as if you're telling Knicks fans, hey man, I'm the point guard of the future, and you're not. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. I don't care about FIBA Frank. Right. I don't care about Frank 2010 against the Wizards when they only had 4 NBA players dressed and 4 guys, 2 guys from the G League and 2 guys off the street. I don't care about that 2010.
I also got an old school. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Freeze.
Oh, go ahead, man.
I also got an old school mentality when it comes to basketball. It's not who starts the game, it's who finishes it in the key moments. Yeah. And Frank is a guy that you'll have a hard time taking off. If one of their guards get hot, one of their wing players get hot, you'll have a hard time taking Frank off the court and knowing that he can stop that guy that's hot.
Right. He may not play the first half. He might play the second half. But I just want to say though that I was one of the ones that wanted Frank to play the 2 or wing player, whatever you want to call that. I kept saying that a lot. I told that to Chuck, and I think Chuck is aware about that. I think the problem is Chuck. Point guard, it's true. 3 assists does not make you a point guard. But if you want to put him at the 2 or the 3, I even had that conversation earlier before you got here, Andy, about possibly sometimes in the rotation, Frank may start over Knox. I just said that right before. Literally before you got here, I said, what are you guys thinking about maybe if Frank starts over Knox? There might be a game or 2.
I can see that happen.
Yeah, and that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not. Just if you're gonna play versus a team that's really guard heavy, right? And you don't want to lose the point guard skills developing on offense. You can plug Frank out the 3, and if they got not scoring shooting, small forward, then you can put one of your guards on him, right?
Right. I just want to add to that. Listen, Andy, the biggest problem I think people have with Frank is when you say Frank is a point guard, I feel like you're already going to lose that argument and you're already going to create a fight. But if you say Frank at the 2 or maybe at the 3, I think people would be more patient with you. I think right now, when you say Frank, you know, I would say that I recommend saying that off the gate because the patience for Frank at the point guard is out the window.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, I'm not arguing with people that want Frank being our starting point guard. I'm arguing with the people that say this is Frank's last year, and if not, we gotta trade him or cut him.
Okay.
No, because you need a player. You know, you need 15 roster spots, right? And you can't tell me that Frank doesn't get one of those 15 roster spots. That you got 15 guys better than Frank.
Right, he could be sitting next to Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Exactly, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist can have rotation minutes, so they're going to be close.
Well, the thing is with the MKG is this, in my opinion, if you have to pull a guy off the street to put into your rotation, that's an indictment on your GM and team president that your roster is flawed. You know what I mean? Because you have to pull a dude off the scrap heap in order to get rotation minutes after your team president and GM had a whole offseason to fix the roster. Only makes me think that the team president and GM failed.
Well,
what are we really doing? You couldn't get an MKG in the draft.
Well, the thing is that you know, we have Kevin Knox, and I don't know if Kevin Knox is a defender, so you need an MKG or Frank Ntilikina to play the 3 sometimes because. You know, Kevin Knox, what everybody sees from Kevin Knox is that jump shot, and that's all they know, and that's all they see.
I see it a little different than you guys. I see it at MKG in camp because Iggy's defense isn't where we could trust every night because we know Iggy can score better than MKG, but now it's a question on whether Iggy can guard the 3. If Iggy guards the 3 in camp, then MKG is gone. Period.
Right, but the thing is, Iggy hasn't even played any minutes right now. We're talking about. You know, people who were drafted in the first round to play small forward. So, you know, I don't think Iggy can take Knox's minutes right now. Maybe in the future is a good conversation.
No, I'm not talking about Iggy starting over Knox. I'm trusting that Knox is going to get it together. I'm talking about Iggy coming off the bench and being able to guard. If Iggy can't come off the bench and guard, that's why MKG is on the team.
Yeah,
well, you always need. Usually, you need defense off the bench. Like Frank is coming off the bench with defense. MKG can come off the bench with defense. You know, Chris Dunn used to be a good backup point guard. So usually how it's always a strong defender coming off the bench.
So
I think about it.
So I want to address that because I do hear you talk about Frank playing a lot of 3. We cannot forget he's 6'5". Even though he has that 6'9", even though he has that 6'7" wingspan, you still talk about LeBron, some LeBron type, some Chris Paul. I mean, at 6'9" threes.
Right, not full time though. Not full time. You're right.
Yeah, but even coming off the bench, if somebody gets in foul trouble early, you need an MKG or Iggy that can D, not a Frank at the 3 in the early minutes.
That's a great point. Great point.
Yeah, you know the Frank playing versus 3 guys is only like in certain situations, right? Like you said, LeBron is too strong, but LeBron is also too strong for most of the guys. No, he's a bull. So that's the other argument you can take with it, right?
Right.
Yeah, but Frank can wrap up most of the guys on NBA rosters at the point guard and on the shooting guard position. That's going to be easy for him because, you know, he either has longer hands and stuff, or he's going to be higher than the guards. So for him, guarding point guards and shooting guards is really natural.
I agree.
I can't wait till we play Washington and the boy gets hot. Westbrook gets hot, and we bring Frank off the bench to stop Westbrook. That is going to be fun because then what are they going to do?
Well, the thing is that Frank, I was going to say though that Frank, if he's on the floor, he's going to be intense. But but if you post Frank up, it's over for him. You know, that's
no, it's not always over because he can just, you know, in post ups, when Frank is going to be defending, he's going to be waiting for Netherlands, Noel, or Mitch to, to block that shot. But he can stand, those couple of bumps in, or he can be flopping, on, tripping and asking for the offensive foul, And, he bulks up every offseason as well. If you see, go check out the photos of Frank, his rookie season. He was skinny as a skeleton, bro. He got some, muscles due to these couple of off seasons.
Yeah, and don't forget, Frank is still 6'7", so at some point he could just stop and raise his arms. And if he's guarding the right size player, that length becomes a problem around the rim.
Yeah, and he's going to be basically faster than any of those shooting small forwards when he's going to be guarding them. So that's also an attribute that he can use the speed. When he's going to see the passes going down to the block, he can just go around the guy and try to steal it, poke it, disrupt it, whatever.
I feel like Tibbs has he possibly developed already a defensive death lineup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel played power forward. He could probably be your play power forward. Ntilikina or MKG could play small forward. For Payton, and maybe you have RJ, and that'll just be your hardcore, your death lineup, so to speak.
Yeah. That's gonna be the lineup that we're gonna have when there's like a last possession game, and the guys took out a timeout just to get that stop.
The question I have is, how is Tibbs going to get the ball out of Randall's hands? That is going to be the biggest thing I'm going to look for this season.
Yeah, I think he's going to address that. I think that's already with Kenny Payne. If Kenny Payne is already fixing, I feel like if Knox improves, then I feel like Randall's going to improve big time with the thinking, with the double, with the what's it called, the spin moves, all that stuff. Kenny Payne is already addressing that, so I'm anticipating improvement from Knox, but Randall has a strong drive, and he has a strong motor.
Beast.
So he's looking to beast, and I feel like one of the things that he said about Tibbs is his attention to detail. Everybody always praising Tibbs right now about his attention to detail, his how he knows about the game, about the offense and the defense. I'm paraphrasing there, but I feel like Randall is in good hands with the smartest people around him. So he's already good getting here, but now he has even a better coaching staff. So now all those blunders that he makes, because it's not easy averaging what he's doing. So now all that stuff is just going to get. I feel like it's going to polish his game right, and that's what a lot of it he needs. And not to mention, again, we didn't have the strongest coaching staff last season, which is why a lot of people say Frank deserves a pass last season. Kevin Knox deserves a pass last season. Except people like Alfred Payton, except people like Julius Randle, who just have 1 year with the Knicks. Those people have 1 year with the Knicks. They just walked into the situation and they were trying to dominate, and they didn't dominate. But this year, I think they're gonna look. I'm anticipating for them to click as a team, and I expect a better relationship from Randle and the team and the coaching staff, and I expect for him to get his act right, because that is what works.
I hope so, because Randle gets in there around that rim, and he just assumes he can finish on everybody. And I gotta be honest.
And sometimes you gotta have that. Sometimes we criticize people for not having that kind of heart, and sometimes you could get criticized too.
Yeah, but he has to understand though. If he gets in there with those NBA size trees, and everybody's standing outside, and he's getting triple team because he's the only option. He's got to trust the other guys, and that's where his assists have got to increase this year, because he got other guys that can shoot now.
Like you said, he can score versus, like he feels he can score versus everybody. Everybody can, take a fall away jumper, right? You know, that's what you do when you can't score versus someone. You do just, you know, do that foul away jump or foul back, whatever, right? So, you know, that's really a bad shot, you know, for me. So those jumpers that he takes falling back are really bad shots for me. Guys, I'm gonna hop on, you know, get some dinner, but I'm gonna hop on in the chat, okay?
Okay.
So see you there.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
Yeah. So like I said, man, yeah, sometimes you can get killed, man. Sometimes you can have sometimes you can, you know, think like a beast and it could work against you. It shows you that, he really didn't play right. He needs to get that. But I'm anticipating with Tibbs, with a coach like Tibbs and Kenny Payne, you know, I hope he's absorbing that a lot, you know, and listening a lot. If he wants to be somebody. That's if
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That's if he wants to be here, and if he wants to think long term, right?
And that's where we're going to fall in love with Obi, because when Obi's in there on the inside, there's none of these guys going to be able to stop him. He is going to be able to, with them shoulders and his side, his upper body, he's going to be able to carry almost every NBA center to the rim.
That's
and
a
dunk
good
off.
question. I got a good question. What's the deal with Obi and Julius Randle? Can they play together, or is that crazy talk?
I think it's crazy talk, because if you watch Obi and his drills and you watch how he moves, so strong on the body, if you get one of those three guys that know how to shake like this, once Obi's weight gets shit going the other way, he won't be able to slide back and keep his man in front of him. But if you let these 6'9" guys go to the rim, man, let me tell you something. Mitch is going to stay in foul trouble. Normans is going to stay in foul trouble because they're going to have to come over to help. And then that's going to cause us a problem.
I think y'all bugging.
Okay.
I think y'all capping for the rookie. I think y'all legit capping for the rookie.
Go ahead.
What do you mean?
While listen, I love Obi Toppin. I think eventually number one is gonna be retired because of Obi, right? That's what I think, right? I think number one is gonna be in the rafters, right? Let me get this camera right. Let me see if I can get this thing. There it is. But I don't think it's going to start year one. We legit have a dude that's averaging 20 and 10, 19.5 points per game, 9.7 rebounds. And y'all like, yeah, let's get that out of here. That's not good enough. Let's bring in this rookie who hadn't even played one whistle yet. Right? I like Obi. Excuse me. I like Obi a lot. But it's hard to find a team that has 20 and 10 at power forward. Right?
Where do we didn't say anything against that though, Freezer.
Yeah, no. We're slandering Randall because we want Obi to play. That's what I heard.
No, we said Randall playing with Obi.
Right.
Yeah, no, we didn't slander. We just said we want to see Randall get smarter. I don't believe Obi should start over Randall, and I think it takes the pressure off him. I just want to see Randall when he makes his move to the hole. I want him to realize he can't stop on everybody, increase his assist, and actually become an all-around better player.
Well, so the onus, just what you said, right? The onus is on Randall to find players, right? What about the other players stop standing around and come to the ball?
Okay, fair enough. Move without the ball, fair enough. No argument. Yeah, but there was no Randall slander. I believe Randall should start. I believe Obi should come off the bench.
I think under Thibodeau, I think Randall is going to be 23 and 12, probably 4.5, almost 5 assists.
That's what I want.
Borderline all-star.
That's what I'm looking for.
I think he'll get snubbed because he plays in New York. Hey, all NBA. If you play good ball in New York, you get snubbed. Whether you're talking about R.J. Barrett last year for the all-rookie team, or you talking about 2011, 2012, Carmelo winning the scoring title and not even getting a look at MVP. It just happens. Pat Ewing never won the MVP. And Pat Ewing's prime, like Pat Ewing in his bag from 88 to like 93, come on, Pat could have won the MVP in any of those years. You know what I'm saying? Any of those years.
Dude named Michael Jordan was somewhere.
Now, what about Peyton averaging 10 assists for the season? Is that a stretch?
No, that's a stretch.
No, that's not a stretch.
That's a hey, you remember that TV? Hey, God of Moses and Elijah. You remember that TV show Gumby? Remember that show Gumby that used to come on back in the day?
Yeah, actually, that's a cool. Yeah, that was a cool one.
Yeah, that's
with that green dude. Yeah, that's the
kind of stretch I think that is. You
know
I
think with RJ, RJ is a sleeper for dominating this season. Julius Randle is a sleeper too. So those two guys, I mean, Alfred Payton just feeds those guys, those monsters. I mean, that's 5 and 5.
I got to hold RJ a little more account. I can't call him a sleeper. The way he could get to the hole and finish, the reason RJ's numbers aren't now what they are now is because of RJ. There's no excuse for a potential all-star in this league to be shooting as bad as he shoots from the free throw line.
Well said.
Especially when your game is bullying people to the hole. Like RJ's first dip, his Euro with the dip, his separation is ridiculous. So you got to foul him. And you're going to foul him if you don't think he's going to shoot high from the free throw line. That's what happened.
Well said. That's a great argument. Something that needed to be said a long time ago.
He did shoot 75% from January through the end of the year.
Yeah, but I mean it's not good to see somebody shoot Mitchell Robinson free throw numbers. You know what I mean?
He did get better though, God of Moses and Elijah. That's the thing. And what if that number had stayed the same? What would our conversation be like right now?
Almost rookie of the year, except for that dude is a freak down in that dude in Memphis is a freak. Where does he play? Where does John Morant play?
John Morant. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll tell y'all a funny story, right? So I'm in Darlington, South Carolina, right? And my youngest son, played in a conference with John Morant, right? So John Morant would come to our gym, and he just looked like an athletic high school kid. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, he fast. You know what I'm saying? Damn, this dude can jump out the gym.
He's a freak.
But when you saw him, you never thought Allen Iverson type athleticism. You never thought Randy Moss type athleticism until he got to Murray State. When we saw him at Murray, I guess when he got in the college weight room, bruh. And then so Zion Williamson's pops and I went to school together. You know what I'm saying? Right here.
I thought it was Lawrence Taylor.
Right. And so I know his people. I've never seen the kid in person. Right. I didn't even know, never knew the kid existed. I was like, I used to be like, this kid from Spartanburg, you know what I'm saying? He's and then my mom told me, she was like, no, not my mom, but somebody was like, that's such and such grandson. And I was like, really? Get out of here. And then all the names connected. And then I started meeting other people in the weight room. My homeboys from school, like, yeah, that's Latif's son. And I was like, get out of here.
I thought that was Lawrence Taylor's son. Isn't that Lawrence Taylor's son, Zion Williamson? There was a rumor.
No, that ain't like, man. Hey, but anyway, like the thing about it is like you put the 2 and 2 together, you realize I have this weird 6 degrees of separation for the number 1 and the number 2 pick in the NBA draft.
Damn.
It's crazy. And
was that South Carolina?
And so I looked at I was walking past Miss Mocha in the kitchen. I was like, hey baby, all this genetics and gene pool going around, and and our son in there won't even take out the trash.
So you could have had the number 3 pick, you said.
Exactly. But anyway, I said that to say, man, those two dudes are super athletic, but our boy RJ is gonna be special. Special. You hear me? Hey, heart like that don't come around once every 10 or 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a story about them losing to Mount Verde Academy, losing to Chino Hills when Chino Hill had all the Ball brothers and stuff. When RJ Barrett after so it was one year where it was what's the kid? D'Angelo Russell and Joel Embiid had left the year before, and RJ Barrett was a freshman, right?
Mhm.
So RJ Barrett takes on Chino Hills by himself, Lonzo Ball, D'Angelo, LaMelo,
The Carroll kids, the Okoro
yeah,
kids.
all of them. They stacked. They're the number one team in the country playing against RJ, and RJ scores 38 points, right? And against them, they 17. Think about this. They 17. He is 14. He's 14 and scored 38 points against the number one team in the country, right? And so he has to go to the free throw line and hit 2 free throws to send the game in overtime. So he gets up there and he clanks the first free throw and fall on the ground and start crying like a baby. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to beat them boys so bad. Because he wanted to win the game more than they wanted to breathe breath.
Yeah.
Right? Right? But they know they number one, and they know they playing against a 14-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to embarrass RJ, but they can't, because he putting up 38 points against a dude that's the number 2 pick in the draft, and a dude that wound up being a number 3 pick in the draft to Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? He crying. The referees trying to get him up off the ground, and he crying his heart out. You know what I'm saying? They finally get him to stand up and shoot the other free throw. and the coach tell him to miss the other free throw so they can try to get a putback. And he crying, man, tears in his eyes. He throw the ball up the rim, and they lose the game. And everybody going to RJ like, man, it's all right. It ain't nothing but a game, man. You're going to be all right. And RJ screaming at them, it's never nothing but a game. It's never nothing but a game. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He crying. Everybody like, man, why he taking this thing so serious?
Good kid. One of the biggest things about Steve Nash getting hired as a head coach, I don't think he's gonna have the time that he used to have for RJ, because how demanding a head coach job is. I know he was probably big for RJ last year, so that was the thing that pissed me off the most. Like, oh, y'all done stole my man grandfather. I just think the Nets are always out to get us. Y'all done stole his godfather just so he makes sure he can't stop his development.
Right. Hey, and so the chat is like, so Bodega's like, yo, I'm the master instigator. But I'm like, nah, man. It goes to show, like, what would you want? Do you want the size and skill guy, or do you want the guy with heart? Because the size and skill guy gonna make the game look easy.
I want the heart.
Yeah, the heart.
I mean, y'all say that easy. Y'all say that so casual.
I want the heart. I want the heart. I'm gonna be honest. The size and skill guy is Kevin Knox. The one thing he's been missing is the heart.
Right.
I feel like Randall got heart too.
Oh no, Randall's a beast.
Yeah,
but he ain't got no RJ heart. He ain't got no RJ. I'm telling you, I think
I disagree there.
I saw the I reckon back to the Duke versus Central Florida game, right? Central Florida has this dude on their team that's like 9 foot tall. I swear to God, there's some dude wear 99. The dude looked like an oak tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, who put an oak tree in the paint? You know what I'm saying? And Zion going to dunk, and he can't dunk over or around or through the dude because the dude is like legit 8 foot tall, all arms and legs. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, God, leave. So
but can he run?
Because RJ and Zion can't just go to the lane and dunk. It's not dunk fest. Like against most other teams, it's dunk fest. RJ and Zion. So Duke is down by 1 with like 43 seconds left to go in the game, and Zion shoots a 3 and misses. Right, and I'm like, oh no! But RJ gets the rebound over this tree and puts it back and draws the foul, right? And everybody's like,
I remember
RJ Barrett got the rebound over this 8 foot dude in the clutch and hit the free throw. So you know what they're telling me, right? You know what they're telling me, right?
He's a baller.
RJ Barrett is at the line thinking about how he let his teammates down against Chino Hills. If he missed his free throw right here, he might let his team down, you know what I'm saying, in the tournament. And RJ Barrett goes to the rim and switches the free throw. And Duke go on to win the game. And the oak tree is crying. The oak tree is crying like, man, we gave him our best shot and blah, blah, blah. And everybody is talking about how Zion's going to be the number one pick. But the other team going to RJ Barrett, dapping him up. Like, dude, you got something in you.
What a rebound.
Yo, how you get
the rebound over the oak tree?
Yeah, he was always a bad free throw shooter.
Yeah, was he always shooting lefty?
First, RJ Barrett is right-handed, but he shoots the ball left-handed for some reason.
Mm.
But he's always been a bad free throw shooter.
Yeah,
it's time for him to get that together, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, RJ, please.
Oh yeah, yeah. My man says Taco Fall. Taco Fall was the dude. RJ Barrett got the rebound. The dude is legit like 9 foot tall and with a 13-foot wingspan. And RJ Barrett got the rebound over him with the season on the line. Gets the putback and hits the free throw so Duke can move on.
Yep.
You're like,
NCAA tournament.
It was, you know what I'm saying? This kid RJ Barrett has like a heart that you just can't quantify stuff like that. Like you legit see, like you've seen Michael Jordan do some stuff where you can't question his heart. Like the Utah Jazz are up by 1 or looking to take the lead in a tie game, and they give it to a Hall of Fame power forward on his favorite spot on the floor, and they run a play and it's a mismatch where it's like Karl Malone has Scottie Pippen in the post. You're like, oh my God, the Utah Jazz about to win the NBA Finals. Wait a minute, Jordan steals the ball from Karl Malone.
Right.
They get him across half and call timeout. You're like, oh no, Jordan just stole a ring from the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz was legit milking the clock. They gave it to the mailman. They was gonna let Karl Malone go one-on-one against one of the best defenders, but Karl Malone is a Hall of Fame player. Jordan sneaks up behind him and steals the ball. Now you got one guy with a shot at a championship, and his name is Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
His name was known ever since.
Yeah, so you see where Jordan has that heart, and this goes back to the Central Florida has a dude that's like 9 foot tall with a 13-foot wingspan, getting all the rebounds, stifling Zion, making Zion shoot threes, and Zion shoots a 3 and misses, and RJ Barrett gets the rebound and the foul on the putback.
Man, you make me like college basketball, man. Let me tell you something.
No, I can't. It's hard. It's hard for me. I like
college football, but now I'm starting to get into college basketball now.
I also can't project players that are going to be good from college to the pros. I am horrible. I gotta hear them in camp, hear their name, and then start watching and say, okay, that makes sense. I just cannot project players from college to the NBA game.
Yeah, it's tough because the level of competition. But the thing I'm saying about RJ Barrett though is this: the great ones always find a way to impact the game. Whether you talk about the numbers or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You can say all the stuff you want to say, but in the clutch, they always make clutch plays. And so guys can be 6'9", real fast, silky smooth handles, jump high, look pretty, all kind of stuff. But certain players just have a knack for coming through in a clutch.
It factor.
Yeah. It's like you can't always, like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know, as long as they're on the court, you have a chance. You know what I mean? Like yep. legit when they're on the floor, you have a shot. Like Magic Johnson. I remember, and I'm not calling RJ Barrett Magic Johnson, but I remember watching Clyde Drexler come down on a dunk on the Lakers, and so Brett Musburger is like, and the Portland Trailblazers take a 12-point lead on the defending champ LA Lakers. Clyde Drexler is pointing at Magic Johnson, pointing in his face, and this look come over Magic. Like, Magic go from smiling Magic to I'm going to snatch your heart out, Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Fact.
They come back down, and Magic come down and hit a three, right? Get a steal, kick it to Byron Scott in the corner for three. The lead is 6, just like that, right? Just like that. He cut the lead in half, right? Portland like, okay, now we got to play. They come down, run their best play. It's a miss. They give it to Magic. Magic come down, fake like he gonna pass, go to the hole, go to the hole, get fouled. The lead is 3 in like 40 seconds. Portland like, the Trailblazers like, oh my God, Clyde, why'd you point in that man's face? Clyde, why you getting in Magic's face? Why you getting him frustrated? So Portland come back down and they slow pacing it, they backing it in. This dude named Terry something, whatever is Terry something, is like running the point for them. And he's just like running through the ops. He's like, no. He moving people out. And then it's Clyde Drexler 1-on-1 on the wing with Magic. Clyde Gray going in his move, and Magic strips him, like taps the ball away. And they going back down the other way. And he kick it to James Worthy. James Worthy come in for a dunk and get fouled. And the game is tied up. Right? The Clippers, they coach call time. I'm like, God, that's what happened. I you over there fussing. You remember back in the day, coaches used to act crazy on the sideline. And then, so Portland come out of the timeout. They just run an old school play, 18-foot. They just run the clock down to like 2 seconds, and somebody hit a shot. The Blazers are up by 2 going into half. And Drexler's like, I told y'all wasn't nothing. Magic Johnson legit takes the ball out of the thing. Like he catches the inbound pass and heaves the ball 85 feet and makes it. The longest shot in NBA history to that point, right? The buzzer go off, the shot still in the air, right? The buzzer go off, and all you hear on the other end is so the Lakers take the lead. Magic hit an 85-footer in a playoff game against Portland just because he's that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I get your analogy. I get your analogy, bro.
Yeah, like some people just have it. Some people
I want RJ to be so successful because he wanted to be here so bad. He loves it here. And I'm gonna be honest, when he misses his free throws, nobody's madder than RJ or at RJ than RJ. You see his whole body when he shoots and he misses, his whole body dips. You see it in his body expression, and he goes and plays harder. But I just want him to get that right, man, because we can't do it without that. We need the ball to be in his hands down the stretch, and if you can't shoot free throws, it can't be in your hand.
Right. Well, the thing I'm thinking he'll be better. I'm thinking he'll be better at that. It's just in time. But the reason why I said all that stuff, the Magic game against Portland and the Jordan game against the Jazz, is because some guys just have that thing, and I think we're fortunate enough to have it. My thing is, we hadn't seen RJ in high pressure games yet for him to build that cachet of memories. You know what I'm saying? Because we legit had dudes in high pressure moments and they failed in the moments. Like Starks went 2 for 18 in game 7. Right? Like Pat Ewing averaged 23 points a game all year and then played Elijah Wan and averaged 18. So his average went down 5 points in the finals.
And missed the finger roll.
Right. And Pat couldn't help it because his knees were shot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Pat, he couldn't help it. Pat did the best he could do. His knees were just gone. You know what I mean? But the thing with RJ is we need to see RJ in those high leverage games so that we can see RJ create that cachet of memories. Like for us to tell our grandkids eventually, like, man, I saw RJ Barrett hit that fadeaway 3 at the buzzer to win us the championship. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or even better, the grandkids coming back to you like, hey, Poppy, I think RJ might be one of the GOATs. I think RJ might be as good as Dr. J one day. If somebody tell you that, you be like, what?
I got questions for you now. I'm ready to ask you. Do you anticipate some of that this season?
No. No. I think I don't anticipate. I know some of it will happen, but I don't anticipate it. Like I don't see a certain game where it's going to happen. I think it's more like maybe happen like in an Allen Houston type way, where Allen Houston hit game winners, but we never saw it coming. But we were glad it happened. And so they're tertiary memories compared to other Knicks memories. You know what I'm saying? Like the shot Allen Houston hit on Miami. We didn't expect to see that coming. You know, but
crossover,
but he hit
body
it.
off balance.
Right. So yeah. So I didn't.
How many wins? How many wins do you see? Do you predict the Knicks winning this season out of 72 games?
I don't know, man.
We don't get 32. I'm gonna be hurt.
The reason why I don't know is because we don't have the same team as we had last year. And see, if we had the same team we had last year, I can predict it based off of that team versus our our schedule. But until we see them coming out of training camp, you know, because this year right here with the quarantine and all that stuff, we really don't know what we have.
Messes up a lot.
Yeah. So it's one of those deals. We just have to wait until at least training camp. We'll see Saturday morning when we jump on. Saturday morning when we jump on, we'll definitely see, because we'll see what the young players look like, what the vets look like, and what this new coaching staff looks like.
Depending on how many minutes he gives out.
Huh?
Depending on how many minutes he gives out.
Yeah. So I mean, it depends, man. We don't have a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, the preseason starts Friday, right? And we have a high flying rookie power forward. We have a second year shooting guard with something to prove. We have a coaching staff with something to prove. I mean, we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff, man. It's not like this is our third year where everybody's still in place. All this stuff is new. So by the time Friday night gets here for the Knicks at Night podcast and the next morning, Saturday morning of Knicks Morning Drive, we'll certainly have a better idea of what we have in place.
So you said that you anticipate Julius Randle with big numbers. Oh, okay.
Go ahead. I'm with you.
No, okay, cool. So I'm gonna choose one veteran and one young player that you anticipate having a breakout season. Freezy, you said Julius Randle is the veteran that's gonna have a breakout season this season, right?
Yeah.
Now, which young player do you expect that's gonna have a breakout season? Knox, RJ, Frank, DSJ.
Yep.
Which one? Which one is your
all of them?
All of them?
All of them are going to break out this year.
Ooh.
You know why? Because last year was the worst case scenario. Last year was the worst case scenario, right? Last year you had a coach that had a coach that was in over his head, and then you replaced him with a doofus. You know what I'm saying? You legit replaced a used car salesman with no cars for a dude that couldn't find out where the bathroom was at. We like Mike Miller.
Under Mike
Why
Miller
you keep in your clothes, Mike Miller? I don't know where the bathroom at. That's Mike Miller, in my opinion. Right. So now with just legit coaching, you know what I'm saying? With legit NBA coaching, a developmental staff, and guys that can go to the head coach, a guy that can go to the head coach and be like, hey, coach, this right here ain't working. Mike Woodson can legit say, hey, Coach Tibbs, this ice defense ain't working. Maybe we should flip this to a 3-2 zone. You know what I'm saying? And Tibbs can say, you know what? Let's try this 2 or 3 more possessions, and if it don't work, we'll go to your 3-2 zone. Last year we had dudes on the bench that shouldn't even had job. Keith Smart.
But that's not the coach's fault. That's the GM's fault. I believe go ahead.
But there you go. So, but now you have you have Kenny Payne, Johnny Bryant, Mike Woodson, right? Both of the Larry Greer and Andy Greer on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Now you have legit dudes that can go to coach and say, "Hey, Knox has been hitting them threes in practice, man. Why don't we just give him a look in this game right here? Let's give him 2 or 3 looks to see what he can do." You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Fizdale screaming at Knox all game long and then not paying him no attention. Knox ain't even developed. So I said all that to say this. I said all of that to say this. Friday, will all the guys that you mentioned, I think, are going to improve. Frank's going to improve. DSJ is going to improve. Knox is going to improve. Mitch is going to improve. RJ is going to improve. Obi Toppin, we can't say improve. We just have to see what we have in him. And Julius Randle, as the veteran, is going to improve because they were basically a rudderless ship last year. They had no direction. This year, they at least have direction.
My guy,
you know what I'm saying?
My guy is that's going to shock the world, and people are going to be like, "We can't believe we missed him." Is Burks? I think Burks is ready. I think what I saw him at Philadelphia playing point guard, not even in a natural wing position with the ball out of his hands. I think Burks' confidence is going to be through the roof. He has a point to prove, and I believe, I believe by week 3, people are going to be saying, "We cannot believe this RJ Barrett kid did not make the All NBA rookie team. He got snubbed, and he will be on all NBA teams of his class for the rest of his career."
Yeah,
well said, man. But Burks, I liked him when he was playing with Golden State. I didn't know when he got traded to Philadelphia. I was already sad. I'm like, damn. But when he was with the Golden State Warriors, man, he was really good.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta cut out
work. I gotta wrap up right here, man.
Oh, good.
I've been up all night. You know what I'm saying?
Good show, guys.
I've been up all night and jump right back on for the next morning drive, and we're gonna get started in about 12 hours. We're gonna be doing the Knicks at Night podcast. I appreciate everybody coming through.
Breezy, thank you for having me, man. If you ever get another opportunity on the spot, I want to jump in with you.
Hey man, I'll be on tomorrow. Come on, what you waiting on?
I'll come on tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll be on. We on every morning and every night. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to grow this thing, man, and we need people that's gonna come on, man, and kick it with us. It's like the family. It's a family reunion in here.
I'm gonna share it on all the Knicks groups too.
Freezy, we let it Freezy. Ghetto Intellect. Take it easy, all right?
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace, guys.
I'm gonna share it in all the groups too, Freezy. I'm gonna share the podcast.
For sure. Appreciate that, man.
Peace.
I'll see you tomorrow, boss.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for everybody coming through. All Future Gaming. I see you. Eli M was good. Greenhouse. I see you. White Falcon 44 was good. Frederick, I see you. Out there. A-Rush 686 was good. The Legion of the Knicks podcast came through. Appreciate it. Of course, I think he's gonna be on tonight. I think so. If not, go support my man. My mods, the best mods in the game. Simma Singh, Bodega Wi-Fi. I'm saying y'all name, man. When I say y'all name, it ring international. We got viewers all around the world, right? All around the world. Trust me, I see the YouTube analytics. They show me where we get the most views at, and I want to make sure that I shout out Bodega Wi-Fi and Simma Singh as my mods. Give them the international shout out. AK Salga was good. We out. White Falcon. And man, I'll see all of y'all later. Make sure y'all join subscribe to the channel. Smash up like button. And we'll see y'all tonight on the Knicks at Night podcast. Peace.